What's up, fam? Time for an out-of-this-world story from rSpace. Am I crazy for being willing to forgive my wife for having an affair with my best friend? Short answer, yeah. But let's read the story. My wife and I have been together since freshman year of college. We were 19 then. We're 38 now, so literally half our lives have been spent together. Lately, we've been so focused on our kids that we've definitely neglected our relationship and drifted apart. And we were starting to discuss couples counseling to make a plan to improve things. We've known our neighbors across the street for 6 years and have been very close with them for almost as long. Their kids are the same ages as ours, we all have similar interests, and we do dinners as one big family 3 times a week. Until 2 days ago, when I discovered that my wife has been texting the other guy 300 to 500 times a day for months. Even when the 4 of us are hanging out, they're texting back and forth across the room. They text from early morning to late at night. I confronted my wife, and she swears that nothing physical has happened yet, but admits that they have professed strong feelings for each other and are even seeing a counselor together to decide what to do. One option is to cut it off and try to let it die down, which they had hoped to do secretly until I discovered the texts and forced them to admit what was going on. Another option, and I get the sense that this is her preferred option, is to give in to their feelings, blow up both families, and move in together. She says, "I love you, but I don't know if I'm still in love with you. I feel so happy with him." I'm still reeling from this. I've spent the past 36 hours reading them the riot act and not bothering to hold back my rage and hurt. I told my former best friend in no uncertain terms that he's dead to me and that he should watch his back. His wife ripped my wife a new one as well. That friendship is over permanently, no matter what happens, which in and of itself is sad because it was a truly great big family while it lasted. I've told my wife every reason why she's being a ridiculous, selfish moron to get sucked into a childish crush like this with a married man, let alone my best friend and the husband of one of her best friends. There's always been some sexual tension between myself and the other wife, and we share a deep love of sci-fi movies that the other two don't, but the difference is, we're adults who wouldn't dream of turning that into anything more. I think I've gotten most of the venom out of my system, despite 2 very sleepless nights. Maybe. I could probably go off again. But in the meantime, I'm trying to think about what I want to happen now. And the truth is, I still love her. Maybe I shouldn't, but there it is. And I can't bear to think about the impact on our kids, one of whom already wrestles with pretty severe anxiety issues. Then, I think about my relationship with her family. I'm as close to her parents and siblings as I am to my own. And the same goes the other way for my wife. It blows my mind that she could throw all that away because of a guy she's known for years who suddenly started to act emotionally in tune with her. Hello? He's thinking with his dick and acting accordingly, and you're falling for it. The aftermath of my discovery of the affair has been swift and pretty brutal. We don't keep secrets well in this family. Our parents all know already. Mine are horrified with her. Hers are expressing sympathy for me and trying to convince her to step back from the abyss. Most of the siblings know too, and are extremely upset. She is distraught and angry, and clearly hadn't thought through all of the repercussions, or the fact that she would obviously be the villain of this story. In her mind, I think she romanticized the pursuit of greater happiness, and thought everyone would support her for striving for that, even if that meant cheating on your husband with his best friend and wrecking 2 homes with young children. Despite it all, I'd be willing to take her back as long as she promises to never talk or text with him again. I will need access to her phone whenever I want to make sure she isn't in contact with him. Any other details we'd work out in couples counseling. Am I crazy? Is this marriage doomed and I'm so deep in hurt and denial that I don't see it? Let's hear some community thoughts and then some of the OP's responses. PJ Lyrics says, "Me personally, 2 kids, married 5 years. Yeah, I think you're freaking crazy. Your first paragraph, you're making an excuse and blaming the kids on the relationship drifting apart. I'd put my money on the fact that she was checked out talking to him. Like the old saying, the grass is greener wherever you water it. She was watering their relationship, not yours, and you're excusing saying it was bad because the kids. I'm calling BS on nothing physical happening. They were in counseling together, which tells me they were serious, and I'd guarantee his peen was in her at least once. I'd never be able to get the thought of his penis in and or around her mouth out of my head. Dude lives across the street. I'd never be able to leave the house without her and not think, what if she's across the street right now? Splitting families up is always hard. I get it. But if you're living there unhappy, the kids will take notice. Happy parents, even separated, will be better for the kids when they understand. This is all my thoughts. I'm not the one to say break up a marriage, but this is one thing I'd never be able to forget. It'd drive me crazy in the long run. So good luck if you decide to try, but know when to get out if it's too much. Yo P thinks, having them across the street is a blessing and a curse though. At least it's easier for me to know for sure that she's not at his place when I'm home. If he'd lived 5 minutes away, I just wouldn't ever know for sure. But yeah, your points are all valid. I'm glad I posted this here. I'm letting my mom get into my head to some extent. She's utterly in denial and practically demanding that we go to couples counseling. Her mom is doing the same thing basically, though she seems a little more resigned to the finality of things. I hate how much this hurts everyone around us. True Riptide chimes in with, the thing about this situation is that she is so invested in him that they are going to a therapist together to figure out their own little situation. She is emotionally immature in the fact that she does not recognize her affair for what it is, a fling, and she is stuck on how he makes her feel now. It's one thing if she never had strong feelings for you. I could understand that, though I don't agree with her actions. She should have divorced you and gone her way. But if the beginning of your relationship was just as emotional or passionate, if she was head over heels for you at one point, then she has lost sight of what's important. She's not thinking about salvaging your relationship. She's past that, and she's been past that a very long time. Save yourself any future heartache and cut your losses now. OP, what do you have to say? We were head over heels for each other for so long. Everyone still tells us we're their relationship goals couple. If this ends, it's going to send shockwaves. Very few people are even aware that we've struggled lately. I just can't understand it. True Riptide's response back, everyone can say you guys are relationship goals all they want. They don't know how you guys are inside the relationship, so anything anyone sees from the outside is assuming. The feelings fade for everyone. Love and marriage is a choice you have to make every day, regardless of some sudden passionate feelings you might start feeling for someone else. She chose your ex-friend, over and over, day by day. Some people just don't realize what it means, unfortunately. There's nothing much else to explain. She chose him because she got caught up in the new feelings with someone she wasn't familiar with in an intimate way, instead of choosing you, someone she does know, someone intimately for a very long time, and your family. Seaside Holly's thoughts. If you're going to make this work, you need to move away from the other couple. Either you do or they do. A temporary separation from your wife is a good idea too. She needs time and you need time to cool off, to learn to forgive, and to move forward in a positive way. If you're too close, this may just turn toxic and not at all good for the kids, especially if you are still very angry. If you're apart, then you can talk, retreat, and both take time with the kids. You can stop and separate if you begin fighting too much, and even date again. If there is love there, protect it. I can guarantee she will suddenly start remembering what she loves about you if the prospect of losing you becomes real. OP's response? Having them right across the street makes this so difficult. Both families are in what we all considered our forever homes until recently. We literally just last summer put in an in-ground pool and got a new dog and put in an invisible fence 4 months ago. That's part of what makes this so insane for me. She clearly wasn't super unhappy if she was willing to build all these long-term things with me. Seaside Holly's advice and response? Well, in that case, perhaps she should leave for a bit. I don't think you should have to leave your home. You've been thrown enough obstacles for the moment, and so have the kids. Maybe she should get her own apartment or stay with someone, like her parents, if they're close by. Under no circumstances should she get the kids in the house. Document, get an agreement signed, and notarized immediately. If too much time passes without consequences and ground rules, then she might decide you should be the one to leave. Geez, just be careful. Work on the marriage, but do not let your feelings rule. Sorry for the blunt reply. What's the dealio's thoughts? Simple. Get over it. Buy a bigger house. Move in with the other family. She can bang the husband she likes more. You can bang the wife you want to bang. 4 parents to watch, all the kids. Congrats on your new life. Joking aside, though if you were Polly, it sounds like a perfect situation. If she's being honest with you and she hasn't banged the guy, you're punishing her for nothing and being a dick. She can't control having feelings for the guy any more than you can control her having feelings for the guy. They were trying to do exactly what you said you'd do with the wife. Have feelings for each other, but ignore it. It was just harder for them. I can tell you that if you tell her she can never talk to him again, she'll probably resent you more for it than you resent her for this emotional affair, which sounds like more than a childish crush on a married man to me. You're also putting yourself on a slippery slope when you start forbidding your wife to talk to people. If you really love your wife and want her to be happy though, maybe you should leave. It sucks to be stuck in a relationship with someone you aren't in love with. It sucks for you to be that someone. It sucks for your future adult children when you split up as soon as they leave home to find out they were the reason their parents stayed in an unhappy marriage. It sucks for your children in the present to be around a lot of hidden resentment. If you want to stay with her, you have to be prepared to work on things, not just punish her, not just have her apologize over and over when you won't actually be able to forgive her. You have to be prepared to take some responsibility for your marriage falling apart and change some things in yourself as well. And maybe, going back to my first paragraph, you're going to have to accept that monogamy might not be possible for her. People are complex, and it's rare to get all your needs met by one person. Maybe you have some needs that aren't met by her too. Good luck. OP's response to this? Engaging in a months-long secret affair of texting hundreds of times a day is an affair in my book. Emotional cheating is every bit as bad as physical. Just knowing that they were having their own secret side conversations while we were all in the same room hanging out makes me see red. What's the dealio's response? Yeah, that was crappy for sure. Lying and sneaking is crappy. What I'm trying to say is, I'm sure she and your friend have a side that goes beyond being a garbage people that don't care if they destroy their families. Otherwise, why would you care about these people? A side you aren't telling us either because you're mad, totally reasonable. You just want people to tell you to leave her, or you don't know their side because you've just yelled at them for 2 days straight. Also, where is the line between friendship and emotional affair? That's the slippery slope I was talking about. I'm also trying to say that if you do stay, it's important that she feels she can be honest with you so this won't happen again. Even about the crappy stuff like feelings for your friend and falling out of love with you. I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe you were completely open with her and she still lied. I just believe relationship problems are never fully one-sided, and affairs are usually a symptom of a bigger disease. Also, who texts anyone hundreds of times a day? She must be on her phone all the time. Your wife sounds boring.